Not every great player dominates with scoring. Some dominate with presence. Draymond Green built his legacy through presence, through voice, through leadership, through relentless intensity. He was never the most explosive athlete. He was not known for elite scoring, but he understood something powerful. Basketball is not only about points, it is about impact. Impact changes games. Impact changes teams. Impact builds championships. Draymond Green entered the league without overwhelming expectations. Second-round pick. Undersized for a traditional power forward. Critics doubted his role. But doubt often creates motivation. Motivation builds work ethic. Work ethic builds preparation. Preparation sharpens instincts, and instincts create advantage. Green studied the game deeply. Film sessions, defensive rotations, opponent tendencies. He understood the importance of communication. Defense requires coordination. Coordination requires communication. Draymond Green became the voice of the defense, calling out screens, directing teammates, reading offensive sets before they unfolded. That type of awareness builds defensive dominance. Defense is not only physical, it is mental. It requires anticipation. Anticipation builds disruption. Disruption creates turnovers. Turnovers create fast breaks. Fast breaks build momentum. Momentum wins games. But leadership also requires energy. Energy spreads quickly. When one player competes with intensity, the entire team follows. Green's emotional fire became contagious. He challenged teammates. He challenged opponents. He challenged himself. But intensity must have purpose. Uncontrolled emotion creates chaos. Controlled emotion creates power. Draymond Green learned to channel that intensity into leadership, directing the defense, organizing the offense, setting screens, creating space for shooters. The Golden State Warriors' offense depended heavily on movement. Movement requires intelligence. Green became the connector, passing quickly, reading cuts, finding open shooters. That type of decision-making builds rhythm. Rhythm creates offensive flow. Flow overwhelms defenses. But his greatest strength remained defense, guarding multiple positions, switching on to guards, battling bigger players in the post, protecting the rim when necessary. Versatility builds value. Value builds trust. Trust builds leadership. Teammates trusted Green to anchor the defense, to communicate constantly, to keep the team focused. And that trust helped create championship culture. Championship teams require accountability. Someone must demand effort. Someone must protect standards. Green embraced that responsibility. He was vocal, sometimes intense, but always committed to winning. Winning requires sacrifice. Green sacrificed personal scoring numbers to elevate teammates. He understood that championships require teamwork. Teamwork multiplies success. The Warriors' dynasty was built on that chemistry. Trust between players, shared understanding of the system, relentless communication, and Draymond Green became the emotional engine behind that culture. Now understand the deeper lesson. Greatness is not always measured by statistics. It is measured by influence. Influence shapes teams. Influence creates unity. Influence builds champions. Draymond Green proved that leadership, intelligence, and intensity can change the direction of a franchise. Now internalize this mindset. You must bring energy. You must communicate. You must lead through effort. Say this internally. I compete with intensity. I communicate clearly. I elevate my teammates. I protect the team's standards. Because leadership creates culture. Culture creates champions. Your mindset is your edge. Championship teams are not built only on talent. They are built on accountability. Someone must demand standards. Someone must refuse to accept complacency. Draymond Green embraced that role fully. Every championship team needs a voice. A player willing to challenge teammates. A player willing to hold everyone responsible. That type of leadership is not always comfortable. It requires honesty. It requires intensity. But it also requires trust. Teammates must know that the leader speaks from commitment, from preparation, from a desire to win. Draymond Green earned that trust through effort, through relentless defense, through preparation in film sessions, through communication every possession. Great defenders are rarely silent. They guide the team. They direct rotations. They call out screens. They anticipate actions. Defense is a collective effort, but it needs a leader. Green became that defensive leader. His ability to guard multiple positions gave the Warriors flexibility, switching on to guards, battling centers in the paint, rotating to protect the rim. Versatility disrupts offensive rhythm. Disrupted rhythm creates mistakes. Mistakes create opportunities. But another key element of Green's success is emotional intelligence. Emotion can be powerful, but uncontrolled emotion can damage a team. Over time, Green learned to channel his intensity more effectively. He still played with fire, but that fire became more focused. Focused energy leads to productive leadership instead of chaos, instead of distraction. Green turned that energy into communication, motivation, accountability. Those qualities strengthened the Warriors' culture. Culture is what sustains dynasties, because talent alone cannot maintain success. Teams must remain hungry. They must remain disciplined. They must remain connected. Draymond Green constantly reminded teammates of those standards. Even during championship seasons, even when success could lead to complacency, that kind of leadership protects winning habits. Winning habits build championships, and championships build legacy. Now internalize this mindset. You must protect the team's standards. You must lead with intensity, but also with purpose. Say this internally now. I lead with energy. I communicate clearly. I stay accountable. I protect the team's culture. Because leadership creates accountability. Accountability creates championships. And intensity, when focused, creates greatness. Your mindset is your edge.